The recent announcement of a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas has brought a cautious sigh of relief to a region weary of conflict. After weeks of intense fighting, both sides have agreed to a truce, raising hopes for a lasting peace. This agreement, brokered by international mediators, marks a significant development in the long-standing Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The ceasefire, however, remains fragile, with many challenges lying ahead on the path to a sustainable resolution. The agreement, reached on 16 January 2025, outlines a phased approach to de-escalation and negotiation. It is a testament to the tireless efforts of international mediators, particularly the United States, Egypt and Qatar, who have worked tirelessly to bring both sides to the table. The deal aims to address some of the most pressing issues fueling the conflict, including the release of hostages held by Hamas and the prospect of a lasting ceasefire. This development is particularly significant given the human cost of the recent conflict. The fighting has resulted in tragic loss of life on both sides, further deepening the cycle of violence and mistrust. The ceasefire offers a glimmer of hope for a different future, one where dialogue and diplomacy replace rockets and airstrikes. However, the path to peace is fraught with obstacles, and the international community must remain actively engaged to ensure the agreement's successful implementation. The coming days and weeks will be critical in determining whether this fragile truce can be transformed into a lasting peace. The eyes of the world are now on Israel and Hamas as they navigate this delicate phase. The hope is that this ceasefire will mark the beginning of a new chapter in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, one where both sides can finally start building a future free from violence and fear. A central component of the ceasefire agreement is the phased release of hostages held by Hamas since the beginning of the conflict. The first phase, expected to be implemented as early as Sunday, 19 January 2025, will see the release of 33 hostages. This group includes 2 American citizens and prioritizes vulnerable individuals, such as civilian women, female soldiers, children, the elderly, and the sick. Subsequent phases will focus on the release of the remaining hostages, including Israeli soldiers and men of military age. This phased approach is designed to build trust and confidence between the two sides, paving the way for further negotiations on more complex issues. The release of all hostages is a humanitarian imperative and a crucial step towards healing the wounds of the conflict. In conjunction with the hostage release, the agreement also stipulates a phased withdrawal of Israeli forces from populated areas of Gaza. This withdrawal is contingent upon Hamas's adherence to the terms of the ceasefire and the successful completion of each hostage release phase. The withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza is a key demand of Hamas and a critical step towards restoring normalcy to the lives of Palestinians living under Israeli occupation. The phased approach to hostage release and military withdrawal is a recognition of the deep mistrust between Israel and Hamas. It is a pragmatic approach that aims to gradually reduce tensions and create the space for meaningful dialogue. The success of this approach will depend on the commitment of both sides to upholding their end of the bargain and the continued involvement of international mediators in facilitating the process. The ceasefire agreement is a testament to the crucial role of international mediation in resolving complex conflicts. The United States, under the leadership of President Joe Biden, played a pivotal role in brokering the deal, working closely with Egypt and Qatar to bring both sides to the negotiating table. The involvement of these regional and global powers highlights the international community's shared interest in seeing an end to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. However, the deal has also become entangled in domestic politics, particularly in the United States and Israel. Former President Donald Trump has claimed credit for the agreement, arguing that it is a result of the policies implemented during his administration. This claim has been met with skepticism from some quarters, but it underscores the politically charged nature of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, even within the United States. Within Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has expressed reservations about the deal, accusing Hamas of not fully committing to its terms. Netanyahu has stated that his cabinet will not convene to formally approve the agreement until Hamas provides guarantees regarding its full implementation. This cautious approach reflects the deep divisions within Israeli society regarding the conflict and the best way to achieve lasting peace. Despite the complexities of international mediation and domestic politics, the ceasefire agreement represents a significant achievement. It demonstrates the possibility of dialogue and compromise, even in the most intractable of conflicts. The international community must now build on this momentum, working collaboratively to support the implementation of the agreement and create the conditions for a lasting peace. The ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas offers a glimmer of hope in a region long plagued by conflict. The phased release of hostages and the planned withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza represent concrete steps towards de-escalation and a return to normalcy. However, it is crucial to remember that this agreement is just the beginning of a long and arduous journey towards a just and lasting peace. Numerous challenges lie ahead. The deep mistrust between Israel and Hamas, the complex political realities on both sides, and the unresolved issues at the heart of the conflict, such as the status of Jerusalem and the right of return for Palestinian refugees, will continue to pose significant obstacles. The international community must remain actively engaged, providing support for the implementation of the agreement and encouraging both sides to engage in good faith negotiations. The ceasefire agreement is an opportunity to break the cycle of violence and create a more hopeful future for both Israelis and Palestinians. It is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, dialogue and diplomacy can pave the way for peace. The coming days, weeks, and months will be critical. The world is watching, hoping that this fragile truce can be transformed into a lasting peace, bringing an end to decades of suffering and ushering in a new era of coexistence and prosperity.